Second now. There we go. We are now live. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie, and this is Violet Iger over here, and I've already got paint on my fingers, and together we make the very inky Mad Scientists.
I think
Bing!
I think I have a look.
I am.
I have some. I've been
You joined the club.
Yay. Hi Ricky. Hi.
Brilliant.
Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go away
Oh, you're gonna go away.
so we can see your table.
Right, so let's see if you can see that. Let me get that more in
Oh,
view. There we go.
thank you for the thumbs up.
There we are. Hello, Ricky. Hello, Yuta. Hello, Violet.
Hi.
And anybody else who's watching on the replay, hello. And thank you so much for watching the replay, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. So, I am now just going to glue these in because this is what I've been doing all yesterday. So I'm just going to pop these in because these are the bits that we do. And this is sticky stuff, so I'm putting this down on here while I think about things like that. See, it's because I can think then, because it's not coming out anymore. So then I can put this down like that.
Hi Lydia.
And grab the next one and move the glue pot. So I've got time to move this over and stick it down. Like that. Says I went back and watched Lisa Heidel again, and she decided after a lot of thought that what she would use would be some book pages, because she uses that all the time in mixed media. And I thought, well, yeah, everybody does, so that's a good idea. And she chose some black scrapbooking card. I don't use scrapbooking card very much, but I do use this Astro Brights. So I chose my black Astro Brights, which is what I use. And she uses coffee dyed paper. And as it happens, what with Trish and the boys coming, I had some coffee dyed paper I'd just done exactly for this sort of purpose. So I went and grabbed mine. And there's only 2 bits to put on now. So this is the coffee dyed one. It's quite thin paper, though. I did wonder about using a piece of coffee dyed paper with torn edges, because I'm inclined to use torn edges quite a bit. But it was so much bother. It was, bad enough cutting enough pieces like this. And I did like the neatness of Lisa's result. So I thought I'd just leave it at this. And I can always do an extra bit with some different type paper, because that's the problem when you're mixed media. You use so many different types. You've got to choose one to put in here, or one on each page, one for oxide and one for distress ink, you see. Like, you've only got so much room. Unless you make a great big wallet with lots of pages, you're going to run out. So I thought, this end up, I want to get it down a bit more, because don't forget, we've got to do the edge with the distress ink. Distress ink pad. We're going to go over it around the edges. I haven't done that one yet. This one has no name on it yet, because I haven't decided which ones are going next. I have just done Rustic Wilderness, and I didn't put any in there. That's what I should have done, put it in there. Oh well, too late now. I'll have to cut some more of these pieces to put in here. In fact, I've probably got some somewhere. There's 1, 2. I've got those 2. I can put those 2 in. So that's 1 up there. Let's bring the glue back again, and then we can get on to what this is all about. I wanted to do this first, showing you where I'm putting the bits and gluing them in, so that we can leave those to dry while we use the ones I did the other day, which are dry. which is the point.
Hi, Anne. It's so nice to see you here. And hello to the lurkers. We know you're out there and we appreciate
Yeah, yes. Good on you, lurkers. Lurk away.
it.
Oh, that one's still stuck.
I posted a link to the part 1 of Louisa's making these vignette.
Yeah. Did you link it to part 1? Because part 1, this is about part 2 or 3, I think. But part 1 is doing the first bit.
Yeah, I linked part 1.
Good, good, brilliant. That means I can go and find it again.
Yeah, I'll post it. I'll send it to you.
That's okay. I've got it saved in my library anyway. That was a joke.
I just put in a search on her videos for file.
Uh-huh.
That word alone would catch it, and it did.
Yep.
Oh,
It certainly does.
okay, Uda, in and out.
More little forbers to use if I run out of the others. I've washed the others, but you never know, do you? This is my books off. Great news! I showed Ian the little thing that the box that Lisa was putting all hers in, and there's a Tim Holtz one. And I think to buy a Tim Holtz one is going to cost a fortune, especially if it's got to come from America. So I thought, I've got a husband who can make things in wood. I wonder if I can get him to make something sometime this year.
Ooh.
So I asked him, and there's a possibility, but it's getting late in the year, so it might be next year. In the meantime, I've got this little box, so that's all right. Let me just pick up those 2 I just dropped on the floor. Ooh, 2 empties.
Well, I was gonna do mine a little different since I had all these glossy photo postcards. I was gonna use those and then make a tab to go on them and stick them in a box. Well, they're a size I can't find a box to fit, so I either have to cut them down or create my own box. Like you
I should create your own box. That's what I was going to do until I thought of employing the husband.
Well, I think I'm gonna create a cardboard box and cover it with some painty papers. The way Carrie does when Carrie makes his boxes, and that way I'll have a custom made.
Exactly, yes. That would be good. Well, here's another one of these thingamies. Just going to cut 2 more pieces for this one. And then we'll get on with the next bit. I might have to go backwards because I seem to be doing this in a slightly different and more haphazard fashion. And perhaps I should have. But I completely forgot what she'd done, and I just went on doing things my own way and not quite so good. When I looked back at Lisa's, I went, that's a better idea. So I thought, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so now I've got the other 3 for here, so we'll do the same as this.
So what was her point of putting these little papers in there?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to spray in the middle here. Yeah. So we're going to get, this is a decent card, the kind of decent white card I would use, 300 GSM, something like that, if I was doing some stuff on mixed media on card or on a piece of card in a journal or on a page in a journal, if that was the page, So that's one. That's the coffee dyed paper. That's another. I used some Quink on here because that's what I do. So, and then this is dictionary page. That's the Astro Brights dictionary page. So it's similar to what Louisa Hensel was doing. And in each case, you spray in the middle of the page.
Hi, Trish.
So you catch all 4 corners of each different type of paper. So you can see how it works on it, hopefully. Okay, if I don't overdo it.
That makes sense. Trish, I hope everything's still working okay. Give me a thumbs up or let me know. Everything's still working okay on your iPad? You had an issue the other day, and I think we fixed it. So it's just another way for presentation for the way the colors would look on different pages.
It's a way for you to look back and go, oh, that's what this one does on that kind of paper.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a reference manual kind of thing.
So you're saying that you're doing it this way and that you looked and Louisa did it differently?
No, she did it pretty much like this, but she used the kind of paper she uses.
Oh, I see.
So I'm using the kind of paper I use, but in the same sort of format layout.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
So she was using scrapbooking card, so it had something printed on the other side. She used the black side, whereas I don't use scrapbooking card so much, but I do use the Astra Brights. So that's what and then when I do my coffee dyeing and so forth, I usually add a little bit of Quink. So I've got coffee and Quink dyed dictionary pages here. That's why it's slightly bluer than perhaps you might have expected. And I'm trying to leave a bit of a gap for the colour. Although, did I do that on the outside? I did it on both sides, didn't I? Yeah, I did it on both sides. So you could see it like that, see? That edging. I'm trying to leave enough room for that. And then we'll go in and do something interesting. I still haven't gotten around to printing out those pages. Thanks to Paula for giving me the link to that. So I can now print it out. I know where it is. Got hold of it. Thank you. And that will cover up my nasty little bits of writing with a nice, neat label. That's the idea.
Yes, she did make the small folders, Yuta. She they're cut out of cardstock. She did this is part 3, if I remember correctly. So in part 1 of her first stream on this series, she cut out those little mini file folders out of a white cardstock.
She didn't cut them out. She did, but she didn't cut them out by hand. She used the Tim Holtz folder, but I thought I'd cut it by hand because actually it's a little bit quicker for me. And also, in case anybody didn't have that file folder die cut, to show you how you do it. So that's why I made a template showing what sizes, which is...
Hi, Lisa.
This, yeah. That gives you the sizes. Okay?
Yeah,
so
you need to hold that still, and I need to get a screenshot.
Well, let me put it down on the base. Just a sec. You got that?
No, hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Holding.
Got it.
Right, and I'd like to apologise to everybody because if I suddenly disappear, there's not a lot I can do about it because the internet has been a bit odd lately. I have changed. We've got more than one internet
network
option in this house because the one network, but more than one option because this house is quite big. So we've got a repeater down the other end of the house sort of thing. And this was on the repeater and I've moved it back up to this one. So cross your fingers, this may work. It's not cut out since we started on this particular one. So hopefully it may last for the stream. So this one needs a bit more work, but we're not going to do that today, but I can show you what's going to happen. I'm going to put a circle like that. We're going to put a smooth blend of the ink pad. It'll be the Distress Oxide, I think, on there. And then we stamp on it and stamp on there exactly the same thing and line the two up so you don't have a gap between the stamp that's on there and the one that's on here. Because if you just stuck that down and then stamped on it like that, there'd be a little gap around the edges, you know, where the stamp doesn't quite get to the page underneath. So that was Louise Heinzel's method of getting over that little hurdle, which I thought was a very good tip. And that shows you what I would use the black Stays on ink because that's what I use all the time. And so did Louisa Heinzel, so that was good. So that will show you how the black stamped image shows up against the blended ink pad on here and the sprayed ink pad on here. because if you remember, we picked it up off the gel plate like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got that type, and we've got that type, which is the blended one, which is what I did the first time there, which is quite a different looking effect. So you'll have both effects, you see? So you'll be able to see what it looks like against each effect.
Hi, Apple.
But yet decided exactly what stamp I'm going to use. She used a butterfly. Now, I like butterflies, but I don't want to use the same butterfly. Not that I think I've even got the same one. I have got one rather nice one, which is more sort of Tim Holtzy grungy, because it's got words behind it, or like a bit of map or something. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit bigger than this size of folder, so I've got to think of something else. So I'll have to sit down and earnestly look through all my stamps and decide what I'm going to use, because I want to use the same one on each one of these things, because you want to compare like to like. You see, you might think, oh, this is the one to go for. This is Villainous Potion. That's the one I want. And then you might have in your stock something else in here, like Dusty Concord.
Mm-hmm.
And you may say, actually, I think Dusty Concord is more interesting. That's the one I will be using. You know, that's what you may say. So having the choice to look at them and go, oh, yes, that's the effect I want on my card this time. That one.
Uda would like to know, will the blue interfere with the sprayed colors?
What blue?
Yeah, you're supposed to pay attention to yourself. Going back about 3 minutes ago, you said it. Two minutes ago.
I was blending on this?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what you mean? Well, that will be dry before you stick it down. It'll be dry before you stamp on it.
Okay.
You will put your blended, like what she was using was these, and I do like them. They work really quite well. Just let me grab it.
Can you clarify, Uda, what you're asking there?
These. This is what she was using, and this is I like these.
Yeah.
So something like, say, that size or that size. One of those two. Seeing the size of this on your ink pad, and then to blend it in, you know?
Yeah.
So you get a nice uniform colour. That's the idea. And then you let that dry. You can heat dry it with your heat gun, but once it's dry, then you stamp on it with your Stays On ink and your stamp of choice. Use the same stamp on there. And then put that on there, lining it up. Sorry, folks, my cough is getting bad again. I've had about a week and a half free, nearly 2 weeks free, but I'm afraid it's coming back. So that was Rustic Wilderness. I've got more of Rustic Wilderness, so I've got the sprays, but I cannot find them. So that will have to be retired for a while at the back. Let's have a go with Dusty Concord. These I'll do another time when I've figured out what I'm going to stamp on it. So, and you don't need that clip there, it's going to get in the way. I've now got a box here. Let's get my water out. Move that. Put that in there. Okay, can you see?
Yep.
That's my box. And I've got a sheet at the bottom. And I've got one to go over the side. So as to shield one side, because we only want the colour on one piece.
I'm going back. I'm distracted. I'm going back and looking for Louisa's, the one that she did where she shows the butterfly, the circle and the butterfly. So I just found it. Let me see if that's where she did it. Maybe she did it on the other one. She's got 6 of these, 6 videos on this swatch.
I'm going to put the oxide here, because then I can look at that and look at that and look at that and look at that, because it's both oxide, okay? Oxide, oxide. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to shield this side first.
The paper chips is what Uda was talking about. Okay, the paper chip.
Sorry?
Right.
Paper chip. What, you mean the circles?
No, I think she meant the paper.
These pieces.
Yeah.
Now this is one because no, this must be this side. It has to be because the reason for the black paper is for the oxide spray. That's right. The oxide spray shows up quite well on black paper, mostly. But the distress spray stain doesn't. It often doesn't show up on black at all. So we're going to use this square, this oblong in another way. This is what she did. Good job I remembered that before it was too late. So what we do is we spray this on. Like this.
So what I'm looking at is where she did the circle and the butterfly stamp over it was in part 1 in that link that I posted above. And
that's why I'm haphazard.
Yeah, and it was about 33 minutes into the stream, if anyone's following along there.
What we're doing here, I'm going to spray here, right?
Yeah.
Just this bit, because that's the one we're going to spray with water. That's without spraying with water. Yeah. So we're going to get a different effect, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to heat that. Get it heated up. I've got rather a lot on there.
Yeah, you do.
But that's me. That's me.
Yep.
That is me.
So now I'm understanding what you meant by the circle and the stamp, because she stamps the paper first and then puts the circle over it and lines it up and stamps it again.
Yeah, she uses one of those stamp and thingy, line-up thingy, which I've got, but I am not very good with at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on the front there, right? Yeah. Then I'm going to stamp on the circle. I really need to line it up somehow, don't I? I'm going to have to try with that kit.
You're going to have to try.
I'm going to have to, yeah, but I'm not good with it.
Well, practice. You just need to cut out a few circles and get ahead of the game.
Yeah. Well, I can do it on Rustic Wilderness, because having already made a bit of a boo-boo on that one,
and you're not
hastily might not have been in time. So
you're not using a butterfly, so maybe you can come up with a stamp that can give you a little more forgiveness in lining it.
I don't know. That wasn't going to be my idea, to do something more forgivable. I was going to do something a bit more outrageous, if possible, or more me, anyway.
Oh,
I'm much more into the slapdash than I am into the let's be regular.
Yes, I know.
Well, yeah, we've got that side, right? So next, we get, of the same color, we get the other one, and we cover that side. Just going to bend that back a bit to try and get it flat. There we go. Right. This has got to be shaken. Don't forget to shake your oxides really well. Luckily, my hands are at
the moment. The spray stains really well too when you use those.
No, you don't. There's no mica or anything in there. Well, why would you? There's no mica in there. You don't have to do it so hard in there. I do shake it, but quite often when I shake these, I've had the ink coming out of here. So I don't shake them so much. And they're only one color. They're ink. They don't separate out, whereas these do. You see? I've not seen them separate out.
Shake well, so I shook well.
Right. And what she does after this is dried is she comes back and goes over it with water.
Yes.
Doesn't she? Does she do that on that one? Ooh, you can anyway. That's that being the point. I mean, you can see what it's happening here. You can see what a difference that is. And isn't it great to have the two together to look at? And you can see how it reacts on this paper. It's bubbling up a bit. That is a very thin paper, that book page. And it does that sometimes. I didn't have all the frayed burlap, so I've ordered the distress ink pad for the frayed burlap so that I can try that out. I was missing that one.
Lara says, beautiful colors you're using, Fran. Well, they're all from the Tim Holtz
Distress rain. Yeah.
Distress collections.
Yeah.
The box is easier to move than a big piece of plastic, isn't it?
It is so much so, isn't it? And because it's got sides, I mean, I'd forgotten where this was, but I found it, so why not? Now, you can see that there's a little white bit here. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's where glue went over the edge. That, nothing I can do about that. Apart from wipe up a bit better next time, which I did try to do with this, but you get tired after a bit, you know? So there you go. So now you can go over it with water if you want to. And what she did on the front, as well as doing the cycle with the blended color, is she went over that with black and white paint with a fan brush, and she spattered it on. You know, you got your brush and you spatter it on, yeah, like that. Only on the front. So that's that one done so far. What next one? How about we do Villainous Potion? Because that's another. We can get rid of those two oxide sprays now. And I think Villainous Potion is hiding up here. Villainous Potion. Where's the other one? Is that up here as well? Villainous Potion, are you hiding? No.
Oh, wherever you are.
Come out, wherever you are. No, I think I must have put that over the side.
It could be because you moved your desk around.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just going to take this headphones off for a second. It would be a good idea anyway, because look at the mess the cable's in. I've got to undo the cable too. Won't be a sec. Villainous Potion. Well, oh, that's cool. Villainous Potion. Now I know where Uncharted Mariner is as well. That's over there too. Just let me unwind my headset. There we are. That's better. There we go. So we'll do the same with this one. So, once again, this side first, doing the, don't really need to, I don't think so. Yeah, put the cap on. Excuse my head. And the water. Did you notice that I'd labeled my water?
Well, you have to. And I need to do that because sometimes I throw vinegar in there to wash things down. I have to watch which sprayer I grab.
Yeah.
Essex.
Did you see what I put there? That's what I put on mine. I
So
could have put darkest Essex water.
I was gonna say it's
Water from darkest Essex. I could have put stolen Essex water, but actually I'm paying quite a lot for it, so it ain't stolen at all. It's expensive Essex water.
Oh, I thought because you live in Essex that that's the water you call it because you that's
No,
where
they call it Anglian water. I call it Essex water. Because there'll be another part of Anglia or Essex that's not called that at all. I mean, part of Essex is part of London is in Essex. So part of Essex water will be called London water.
and this just comes out of the tap, right?
I'm soaking up some of this because that is what I would do. So you can see what it looks like. I'm quite pleased with that, yeah. Lovely. Switch about. The oxide.
Yep.
Again, shaky, shaky, shaky like mad because there's chalky deposits in this and it sinks to the bottom. And if you shake it enough, you can hear the little marble in it. Lovely. Now, well done. Spoil it. I think I prefer the method that Louis Heinzel was using and that I've used on the front, where you lift the spray plus water off the gel paint. Yeah, I think I prefer that to this. This is a bit too intense. And of course, if you spray it from very far away, you're going to cover the whole thing with a fine spray, and it's not going to show as much as you'd want it to, I think.
I think you should use the technique and the that you would normally use.
Yeah, exactly. Just put a little bit more on there because I would, wouldn't I? Yeah, we know that. Just wanted a bit more to show up on the black. You see what I mean? I mean, if that had been the ink, that you'd never have seen it on the black, would you? It's only because there's chalkiness in these oxide inks that you'll see it on the black at all.
Lara says she went to the Roman baths in Bath, UK once and tasted the mineral clean water, and it was the most ever beautiful water ever tasted.
Really? Most people in the UK complain about it tasting awful. They must have sanitized it since Roman times. Because I reckon in the Georgian era, they used to go to the baths to take the waters, as the expression was, and they used to go all the time. I bet you it was most unsanitary at that time. That's quite nice. But these days, I think they treat it with your normal fluoride and all that stuff.
Can you hold that up close to the camera so I can see that black better? It really does come up there, doesn't it?
It does a little, doesn't it? Much more so. Don't forget, I have heated this, so it changes a bit as it dries. It becomes a little bit more chalky, I find.
Okay, over to your right and hold still. Now I could see it. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Now you can see the difference between villainous potion and Dusty Concord. Yeah.
So the Dusty Concord on black is quite
it's quite nice, isn't it? But I think this one will chirp up a bit. It is a much darker color anyway, so it's not going to do a great deal more. But I'd like to try. Let's do it on this one. I'd like to try Seedless Preserves. And I'm going to draw in faint pencil mark, because I still haven't got the thingy out, the name, otherwise I'll never remember. There we go. So it's written on it. And I can put this one. There we are. Try not to expose too much of the central rib, I would, because it will run down there if you're not careful, I think. Don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It does incline to do that when you're spraying with inks.
Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind when you glue in those papers.
And I bent that back a bit, like that, so it lies flat. There we go. I think that's enough for that one. Where's my water? Essex water contribution. See, this is a more mauvey colour, this one.
It is.
And I've also got wilted violet over there, which might be interesting. See, this is the sort of thing I like. Doing this experimenting and going, ooh.
It dries fairly fast, too.
It does if you mop it up.
Oh, yeah.
But I would do that anyway. I mean, I wouldn't do it all over the place, but in some places I would mop it up. So that's why I've only mopped it up a little bit. I'm leaving the rest to be cooked. It is a lovely way of demoing it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can see the way it would look. It's looking really good on this copy dyed paper. See, I used very thin copy dyed paper there because I used quite a lot of this. I can't remember what the paper was. I just grabbed a roll of it. What was it? I think it was drawing paper, sketching paper off a roll like this. Really quite crackly and thin. But I've also got other papers like this, which is quite a bit thicker. Yeah, it's not as thin. Now that may react differently, but you can only put so many pieces in here. But don't forget, the way we're doing this, you can always manage to get one more thin page, one more signature, I reckon, inside there. So if you want to add more things that you use, you could.
Hi, Dina.
I mean, there are the cards we're going to add. Hi, Dina. The cards we're going to add. Hi, Laura. Lara, beg your pardon. Can't read. That's me. I can't read. Anne. Hi, Anne. Anybody else? Apple. Hello, Apple.
And Trish.
Trish.
And
hiya.
Yeah.
Hiya, Diane. Yuta. Trish.
Diane.
Lisa.
And Lisa. So what color is this one again? Say it again.
Seedless Preserves. I love saying that.
Seedless Preserves.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it sounds like somebody put in blackberry, blackcurrant, and crushed it and put it through a jelly bag to remove the seeds. So it's Seedless Preserves. That is looking quite nice. I'm liking that. That's rather good. That's showing up some range of colour in that, isn't it? Don't you think? And you've got the paleness down here where the water diluted it quite a bit, and where here it just made it run, and here where we had no water at all.
It's
quite good demoing of what effects you can get. But I still think using another signature would help. And I would use some of the other papers because I quite often use quite a hefty watercolor paper, sometimes 100% cotton. I don't use it all the time, but now and again I will use some of that because I want to see the different effects. So it would be nice to have a piece of that in there.
So this is just the spray stain. This isn't the oxide.
No, I'm going to do the oxide in just a moment.
Okay.
Like any minute now. This is my attempt at doing Tim Holtz out of a fee. In other words, I saw Ranger selling a splat box, which was a cardboard box cut in half, slanted. And I thought, blowed if I'm buying that. I've got loads of boxes. In fact, Amazon keeps sending them to me. So, yeah, I will use one of those. So, shaky, shaky, seedless preserves. I can't do it with that hand. It's just not a good hand. There we go. Right. Splashy washy. That's pretty good, pretty good. See how this is showing up on the black card already?
Yep.
Quite more powdery, dusty.
Yep.
It's like someone mixed sugar in with the some meringue in with the seedless preserves.
Well, it gives it a haze look.
Yeah, doesn't it? Don't forget, when you're spraying, the further away you are, the broader the spray, wider the spray you're going to get. The closer you are, the more intense and smaller pattern you're going to get. Depending on what your spray is like. Because I've had some of these sprays, not many, but some of them will spray in a circle with nothing in the middle. It's like, oh. I usually try and swap that spray head over for a new one. That's why I bought a packet of new spray heads.
Well, I'm making sure I wipe the nozzle after every spray.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank
you. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep on. I know you should. But I do forget to do that. I forgot with that one as well. Let's take these out of the way now, and we'll get the next one. I've just got a little bit of room around there that I can put these. I've got Uncharted Mariner there. No, what have we got there? Uncharted Mariner. Good, I will do those two. And I've got some other things on order, like I had the old paper in certain sprays, but I didn't have it in the ink pads, so I've ordered those 2 ink pads for the old paper. But I have got it in shabby shutters, so I'll have a go with that in a bit. I just wanted to mop up that bit there. That's better. That's quite a nice little bit of intensity on there, isn't there? Now look at those with these. There's quite a different range, isn't there? You've got the sort of purpley colour here. You've got the dark, you've got the sort of mauvey colour here. You've got the dark purple here, and you've got the slightly lighter, slightly dustier one there.
I think it's a matter of how much red or blue they put in the pigment, the mix.
Yeah, well, they must have put more red into this one and more blue into that one.
When you look at it when you look at it dry, the one in the middle, you could see on the left side, there's a reddish halo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
And there's no such thing in there. It's more of a blue. Yeah.
And that's on the outside. side.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So I've yet to do the front and back, but I've got them over there. I just want to get on and do some more. Now, what else have we got in here that we can do? There's Uncharted Mariner. Good out. And I thought I might do next aged mahogany. So
Oh, I
him on
love
top.
that one.
Yeah, I thought you might.
And brushed sage, bundled sage.
Yes, bundled sage. Yes, I've got that over there.
And the other one I have is evergreen bow. Evergreen bow.
Yeah. I haven't got so much of evergreen bow. I've got.
And I forget who I watched doing a little demonstration with a color, and it was the spiced marmalade. So that's one I want to get. And peacock feathers. Yep, that one. Isn't that pretty? When that sprays out.
Spice marmalade, I've only got the distress ink for that. I haven't got the oxide.
I believe that's what she used. The distressed ink. She rubbed it down on a piece of on the glass or acetate or whatever you want to use, the stamp gel plate. She spritzed it with a little bit water, and then she put her card down on that and left it down, gave it time to pull it up. And did it with,
if you find the link for that, I'd like to see it.
I believe it was using the glossy photo paper, which is why
Louisa Hassel one.
No, it wasn't Louisa. No.
Oh, right. Okay.
Whoever it was used the spice marmalade and the peacock feathers together.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And the color, the result was just beautiful. So it's on my list.
Yeah.
If I find the link, I'll send it to you. But I don't know that it was. I think it was just a random video I caught after a search.
Well, I've found out what are the two colours I've got everything on and can't find, and that's salvaged patina and rustic wilderness.
Ooh,
I can't find them anywhere. I've got all I've got here is of salvaged patina. I've got the two pads, oxide and ink pad, and I've got the distress glaze. That's it. I haven't got the inks or anything. They're hiding somewhere off in the distance. That's lovely, that. That's nice. That's a good effect. That gives me some good ideas.
Now the oxide.
Yep, now the oxide. And before we do it, I'll need to bend that back. I don't want it all dripping down into the hinge. Still got glue coming off my fingers. Right. Uncharted Mariner oxide. You really should watch Louisa Heinzel's videos on this, because she explains so much more about what she's thinking about and why she's doing this and how she came up with that and all that kind of idea. And she explains why she does things this way and why it suits her. She puts her colours in the box in the order of the colours she has on the shelf where her sprays are. So she has them in an order that is sensible for her, that she thinks is right. Never mind what anybody else thinks. She's got it the way she wants it. And that's what you want to do, really. There we go. Wipe its nose. put it back over there. Out of the way.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll post the link to the entire playlist.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can get all of them. Yeah.
Then you can get all of them because I'm going to start with one, and the one shows with the stamp too. So I like that. And
Yeah, because I haven't actually done that yet. That bit. Because I haven't chosen the stamp I want to use yet.
And honestly, I can't see her. I'm not watching her place the stamp, but it almost looks like she did it in one go. That she didn't stamp the card and then put the circle on that was stamped. It looks like.
No, she did do it in two goes because she used that stamp positioning pad thing. So she stamped that, she put it down there, stamped it again.
Okay.
No, lined it up, and then put the circle in exactly the right place. And stamped it. But she stamped first on the card. You were right about that. And then she let that dry or dried it, leaving it in the stamp positioner so it was in the right place. And then she came back with the circle, glued the circle in position, and stamped on top because she had the stamp in position on the top bit that you moved down and put back where it was.
Yeah,
so it all lined up. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, Laura. Her mixed media, like I said, I followed her to do an envelope journal. One of the things I remember doing. I tend to watch Louisa too late at night, and then the next morning I've forgotten.
So you've got the ink there, distress ink there, distress ink there. Only that's the pad. That's the spray. And you've got the oxide there.
Okay.
And the oxide there.
Yeah.
That's the spray. That's the pad.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I've probably done it a bit differently from her. I think she put something else on the back, or she put... I can't remember. I'll have to go and have another look. I've got a memory like a sieve, honest.
Hi, Mariah.
Absolutely hopeless. Hi, Mariah. So let's do your favourite.
This morning was fun. You were busy, Fran, so I don't think you got to watch Mariah working with her.
No.
That was fun to watch.
I was busy putting stuff out in the summer house, actually, trying to clear the way for the beam people coming end of this week.
Yep.
So I've got a lot to do with that. No, it's the 25th. Is that the Monday? Well, whatever it is, it's soon.
Yep. It's a week from today.
There you go. Right. And Essex Water contribution gratefully received. You can see where the glue was on that, can't you? I've ordered lumberjack plaid. I wanted saltwater taffy, but I thought I'd rather have lumberjack plaid, and I can't afford both at once at the moment.
Yeah, both are really nice. I saw them both. I'm like, ooh.
I was put off by the name lumberjack plaid.
There you go, everybody.
If
you didn't get to watch Mariah this morning, there's the link. Go be a replayer, rerun watcher, replay watcher. It was fun today watching her put that together, magnets and all.
I must watch that. I like magnets. I'll play with magnets. I've got something to do with magnets myself later on.
I was
when we go back to the journal.
I was really interested in the way she used those magnets. I didn't see it coming. I forget who, Lynn. Lynn made a suggestion on how to use them, and I just couldn't see it. I had a case of aphantasia or whatever it is. I just could not imagine what she was talking about. And then I watched Mariah, show it all. It's like, oh, that okay. Let's see where this goes.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
technique. I don't know if Mariah did it the way Lynn suggested, but the way she did use those magnets was pretty cool.
I must go and have a look then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I've found quite a cool way of using a magnet myself. A couple of ways, in fact. So we'll see what happens. But I won't be doing that until I get onto the back to the journals again. Now then, oxide.
Good, I'll watch for it, Mariah. Well, Mariah, what I was thinking when you were using the magnets is I saw them on the one side. You hadn't put them on the other side yet. And I thought, well, if you go to close that, they will be opposites, won't they? What's the word? They won't magnetize from the left side to the right side of the page. Like you can't close it like a book and expect the magnets to adhere because they won't work. They will repel each other. That's the word I wanted, repel.
Well,
So
the way you do that is, don't you sort of position the magnet. You put one magnet where you want it, cover it with your paper or whatever it is you're covering it with, and then you put the other magnet on top. It will flip over to the correct side, so you know which side to put your glue on.
Right, that part I understand.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like right now, you're working on the left side. So if you had a bunch of signatures and all the left side had their magnets, they would all adhere. If you had them on the right side, they would all adhere. But if you try to close both sides together, they'll repel each other, won't they?
If you put a magnet underneath these pieces, then glue the pieces on top, right? So they can magnet's completely covered. It's a magnet in there, yeah? Mm-hmm. Then you get another magnet and put it on top. If you try to put it on top the wrong way around, it won't connect it to the right way around. And when you've got it like that, you then put some glue on here, stick it on there very carefully. When it's dry, you'll be able to separate the two and put paper on top of there. Okay?
You have to see what Mariah did to understand.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I might be explaining something completely different.
Well, no, I absolutely, you're explaining it exactly how it works, but you're not understanding what I'm talking about. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So there we go. Aged mahogany now has two lots. So I've got oxide, ink, pad, spray, pad. Okay? Lovely. So you can see what the spray looks like, and you can see what the pad looks like when you lift the colour up off the gel plate.
Yep.
So the spray, nice intense aged mahogany spray, and the spattery look when you put it on a gel plate and pick it up with the back of the card. Lovely.
Yep.
What next? We've got here ones that we've done. Oh, heck. What was that one? Somewhere in there is a loose label that was supposed to be on here. Let's hope it's in there, because I have no idea what that is otherwise. I think it's frayed up, but it could be something else entirely. Let's have a divvy in the box, see if we can find it. Here's my box, what I put stuff in.
You have to go watch PM Artist Studio. Their stream, Mariah's stream this morning. The whole entire journal or whatever. It's not a journal. It's not a journal. It's just artwork.
Here we are.
Presented. Found it?
Yeah, found it. And it was frayed burlap. It's frayed burlap. So I'm going to stick that down no matter what. I mean, even though I haven't done the thingy, because I'm just losing it otherwise. There we are, frayed burlap. So we've got frayed burlap and no frayed burlap because I've only got one. You see, I've only got the oxide.
Yep.
That is reflected in the fact that there is only ink on this side. There's nothing there because I haven't got the frayed burlap distress ink pad. So we can now put frayed burlap oxide spray on this side because I've got that.
Okay.
But I haven't got the other one. So unless I have got it around somewhere or I've ordered it, I can't remember which. So put that down. Bend that over so it's not so bending upwards. Right.
Hi, Colleen.
Shaky, shaky, shaky. And then we'll do spice marmalade because I've got 2 of those. Yeah.
Oh,
that is such a lovely one. That's starting to go a lovely colour, and I've not done anything but spray it. This is one of the ones that has hidden colours in it. Different things happening.
Yeah, you'll have to hold that up close because I like what I see from a distance.
Yeah. And it's showing up beautifully on the black card as well.
And that's just the oxide. That's not the spray yet.
It is.
So,
Well, I don't have the spray yet, so unless it's one of the things I've ordered, we won't be seeing that anytime soon. Maybe next month.
oh, that goes over that black. Very nice.
Doesn't it?
Oh, I like
And look at the card.
There's a division of colors there.
Yeah, you've got a sort of rusty look here.
Yeah. Hold it up. To your right and oh yeah.
See what I mean? There's a sort of rusty look to the edges.
Yep.
This is almost a bluey grey. It's fabulous.
I like that. Name that color again.
Frayed burlap.
Yeah.
That is frayed burlap.
Well, yeah, if you look on
lovely.
It's got that.
There is some rusty bits here, but it's more noticeable at the edges there, I think. I mean, you can see it there, sure.
Like patina.
Yeah, like patina, exactly.
Weird.
Isn't that lovely? Lovely. So what else have we got in here? Are these the ones I've done or the ones I haven't? I've done that one. Sun Seedless Preserves, done Dusty Concord, and I've done that one. I've done Villainous Potion and Rustic Wilderness. So what I've got is a load of cards there, empty ones, ready. And I've got these. That's an empty one. That's an empty one. And so are those. So I've got 4 more empty ones there, 4 new ones. So we can do spice marmalade on one of those. We've got brushed Concord there. We've got bundled
have ready that you can do now.
tea dye. So I've got tea dye, bundled sage, and brushed corduroy.
Oh, the sage looks lighter than I realized. Okay. Let's see the sage. I want to see that on the black. Do you have that in oxide?
Bundled sage. Bundled sage. We've got it's not here. This is all frayed burlap. That must be over at the other side. I'll just have to go. I think I can see it from here. It won't be a second.
Okay.
Take my little hat off. March across the borders. Down, which is what this place sometimes comes out as. And that's mobile lawn. Bundled sage. Forest moss.
It's over there. It's pretty bad when you have so many that you can't find the one you want. Or good. Pretty good. Not bad.
There we go.
There you go. Found it.
Ta-da!
Hey, you know, I'm looking at this one. Oh, that's because it. Never mind. Sorry. Duh.
Right, I'm back.
Well, I was looking at
Right.
on that, but I just realized that that's the coffee stain paper. That's why it looks like that. So never mind.
Yeah, coffee stain paper. I picked one with quite a bit of nice, what Lisa Heinzel calls flowers.
Blooms.
Blooms, exactly. Right. Bundle Sage Distress Spray Stain. A little bit more on that one, I think.
And let it, and get your
Vata. Apatavataran.
and then you add the water. Uh-oh. Oh,
Never mind. Never mind. It will
it won't
move
go
around.
past the ridge. Yeah, I was loving it too, Evie, but it's dry and lighter than I realized it would. I still like it though. It's still on my list.
Don't forget, this is the spray stain, so it's one colour, more or less.
Right.
But I did find it quite pale. It looks so intense there.
Right? That's what I said, but it's drying
Yeah.
lighter than I realized it was. I still like it. It's got a nice there's
It's
almost
got a
like,
lovely colour.
yeah. I have a sage plant outside my front door and it's a lot darker than that.
Yes. But it does have that kind of misty look
Yeah.
to it, powdery look to it in places, yes. Yes, I've grown quite a few sages. One I like most is tricolour. Now that one has tinges of red in it. There we
Okay.
go.
So the green, the sage that's around the edges, you did the edging. That was
Yeah,
done with the pad.
with the dauber and the ink pad, yes.
Ink pad. Okay, so I don't really want to use that as a reference. I like looking at,
Distress ink pad, you see?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the oxide spray. Pad. That's the oxide pad. Now let's try the oxide spray.
yeah. Yeah, Lara says it's between an apple green and an olive green. Yeah, I would go with that. Apple green. I have a bunch of apples on powder, and I would agree with that.
Not quite as strong as a Granny Smith. I think a Granny Smith's apple skin is a bit yellower, towards the yellow green than this.
Yeah, more of a pear, a ripe pear.
I think that's plenty.
Yes, to anything apple. That's what Apple O'Day says. Well, I have like a peck of apples in the bottom drawer of my fridge and another probably half peck on my counter. It's apple season here,
Yeah.
and we've been to the orchard.
Well, Ian doesn't eat apples anymore, which is a shame, really.
Why
He could
not?
peel them and eat them like that, but he had some problems with his teeth, so he sort of wants them. He's been going to the dentist though, so you should be feeling better about that. You still have a Brayburn apple? Oh, there was one called Kanzi. That's quite nice. Some of them seem to go to floweriness quite a bit more than the apples we used to have in our garden did. Like we had Lane's Prince Albert and Cox's Orange Pippins. And what else did we have? Russets. Russets are lovely. Lovely apples, russets.
We have the ones on the counter are golden. No, they're Red Delicious from the grocery store, and Russ says they really don't have much flavor, and I agree. And the ones in the fridge are from the orchard, and they're called a Wealthy. So
Really?
it's new. It's a new apple to us, and they're really good. I love that. That's beautiful. Now, where the spray is, where it piled up and got heavy, that's the green I like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there's potential there.
That almost looks like somebody sitting on a chair.
Yeah, I see it.
So there we go. We're going quite well with that one. What else we got? Right, we've got tea dye and brushed corduroy.
Do the corduroy
left amongst those.
again.
Okay.
I have a heart by that in my notes, so I think I liked it. I think because when you did the pads for the front and back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It is a really lovely difference. Lovely. I love that.
So the outside separate. Apparently, they separate if there's other colors. If there's a mix, you can see them. Some of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
So brushed corduroy. I'll go and fetch brushed corduroy. Brushed corduroy, are you here or are you up there? I'd like to try antique linen.
Let me see. Hold the phone.
Brushed corduroy.
Hold the phone. I didn't hold the phone. That's why your headphones are.
Funny guy. Oh, I thought I had antique linen.
Pretty tight.
What?
They're pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's from the Big Cat's place.
I thought I had some antique linen. I have old paper and pumice stone.
Well, I haven't got so much old paper as I thought I had, so I've had to order some things.
So, aha.
Sapphire. Blueprint sketch. I think I've only got the distress I can find in brush corduroy. I thought I had all of brush.
Okay, well, then get the tea. Use the tea if you have more of that.
Well, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this first because I've got the oxides. We'll do the oxide.
Apple, I'm sorry you're not a member of Makers, that you don't do Facebook. I posted a picture today of my newest spraying project. I'm getting ready to take it off the frame. I did it in brown and turquoise, brown and teal, depending on how you look at it. And I don't have any way to get a picture of you to show you what I've done.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Couldn't you show it now? Have you got it?
The picture? Well, the frame is quite big. I have to move the camera around, and it's really awkward. So the best I could do is hold the phone. Let me see if I could do this. The best I could do is to show you from my phone. Can everybody see that?
Oh, yeah. That's looking good. I like that stripiness.
There you go, Apple. So you could see. I'm using, this technique. I'm doing straight lines. So I'm getting close. This is the middle where I have to close it. And that's 2.5 inches right now. And I have to get my fingers in there to do the twisting. So it's kind of a tight fit. I'm getting down to the end, almost done with it. The next one I want to put on the loom is I want to use these colors, but I want to do angles. Use the Z and use the S stitches, if Apple knows what I'm talking about. So instead of a straightish line, it would zigzag down almost like chevron. And it's about, the width of I'd say it's about a 2-inch width, about the width of a belt. I liked it. I like it. Okay. Back to Fran. Okay, here she is, being so kind to me. What it is? Oh, there's the tea stain. You only have the oxide, right? Did you go mute? Nuh-uh, you're talking and we can't hear you.
Sorry, I must have pressed the button by mistake. It is brushed corduroy, not tea.
Oh, okay.
So, corduroy. Brushed corduroy. There's the ink pad on the gel plate,
Yeah.
and there's the spray direct onto the papers.
To your right. Let me see this. Yeah, you could see the different colors in there. That's cool. Really, really looks nice
And
on that glass.
between the two is interesting. You can see the spatter on the black.
Yeah, I gotta.
And you can see this background rustiness again. I'm dying to try Rusty Hinge. And
this,
Spice Marmite.
this is brushed.
Wild honey. Huh? That's brushed corduroy.
Yeah, I like that one.
And I should have the ink as well, but I can't find it immediately. So either I haven't got it or it's hiding from me. Probably hiding from me. Where's the tea dye? Anyway, let's do tea dye since I'm pretty sure I've got some of that. At least I think I'm pretty sure I've got some of that. Yes, there it is.
And I did that over the weekend, by the way. I do a few rows and my hands get cramped and then I have to stop and walk away and go do something else. Then I come back and do a few more rows. So it took me the weekend to get that much done.
Right. Tea dye, distress spray stain.
Okay. Oh, wipe that nozzle.
Lovely colour. Lovely colour.
Yep, wipe the nose.
Fresh little nose wipe. There we go. Water. Oh, drop the water on the floor.
That box has got to be pretty saturated by now.
Not really, because I've got a piece of paper underneath. It's a little bit damp on the edges, but every time I'm heating the box as well.
The floor of the box looks kind of wet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Don't forget, in the corners there's packing tape, plastic packing tape.
Okay, so it makes it look wetter than it is. Okay.
Yeah. I'm loving tea dye. I really do.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna have to do one with Seth Apter as well, you know, to show the difference between Tim Holt's tea dye and Seth Apter's tea dye.
So I've got a note here. You do not have the embossing powder in the brush corduroy, and you want to get some. So I have to remind you.
I've ordered it.
Okay.
I think that's one of the ones I've ordered. I can check, but I'm pretty sure I did. got the brush corduroy. I must have. Brush corduroy, just did it.
In embossing powder.
Oh, in embossing powder. No, I think I tried to get that one and couldn't find it. So I'll keep trying. The embossing glaze, yeah.
Yep.
Lovely, lovely. Look at the lovely rich colours on that. I mean, really, look at this. It's like a sort of orange tint down here.
With yellow.
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah.
And that's with the spray stain. That's not the oxide. That's the spray stain.
So let's see what happens with the oxide.
Colleen asks, why are you getting... Hi, Paula. Why are you getting glaze versus embossing powder?
Because the embossing powder is being phased out and they're even harder to find if they haven't stopped selling them already. Lisa Heinzel was saying she couldn't find them. She managed to get some off somebody second hand. And I've managed to get some. I've got hickory smoke here in the embossing glaze, but even these are a bit hard to find.
In the glaze? In the glaze?
Embossing glaze, yeah. I haven't been able to find any in the embossing powder.
What's the difference?
Embossing glaze, Wild Honey, because the glaze is slightly transparent and the embossing powder isn't. It's a flat matte powder, the embossing powder.
Okay.
This is slightly see-through. If you were to put it on something transparent like oh, what's that stuff? It was on the tip of my brain there. I could feel it fall off the edge. Acetate. That's the word I was... words are so hard. Acetate. If you put it on some acetate, you would still be able to see through, but less so where you put the embossing glaze. But if you put embossing powder on acetate, you would not see through that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let me get rid of the mahogany and the frayed burlap.
Keeps freezing and having internet connection problems, and we do understand that, Paula.
Yeah, we do have that kind of problem ourselves sometimes, but I hope we don't have so much today.
Well, you changed your connection, so that
I did,
yeah. I think.
Now, spiced marmalade. How about? Oh no, I've got to do this, haven't I? What was I doing?
Yes, you were doing
tea dye. Right, burlap. Tea dye. There we are. The oxide. Tea dye. Shaky.
Lara says, thank you for explaining that, Fran.
Well, I hope it helps.
Well, if they're discontinuing the powders completely, then I understand why you don't want to get attached to them.
Well, what Lisa Heinzel said she was going to do, because she did have some, she had about as much embossing powder as she had embossing glaze. Only about 10 or so, or maybe a bit less of each. And she said what she was doing is she was putting the embossing powder on a separate card so that if she ran out and couldn't replace it, she can always take the card out.
Oh.
She doesn't have to destroy the little file folder, just take that card out. Because it's no longer of any help. Okay?
Yeah.
I can hear. Can you hear me?
I hear us. Oh, guess what the DVLA did today?
What is the DVLA?
Driver Licensing, Drivers Vehicle Licensing Center Association, DVLA. Well, they finally sent me the V5C, and what I didn't notice is that it's got the incorrect date on it. And what they sent me today was an acknowledgement slip saying that you are no longer the registered keeper of the vehicle. What the heck are they doing? So I rang them up and gave them a bit piece of my mind. Said, "What are you doing? You've got to solve this. Do it right, for goodness sakes, and tell the other departments what's going on. This is my car. I bought it. Stop messing me about." Yeah, basically.
Okay, hold it over to the right a little bit. Okay. Now, mostly I want to see the oxide, yeah. Now that dries different.
Yeah,
That definitely showcases the chalky appearance with the tea dye.
it does, especially on this card and a little bit there. You can see the difference in colour quite distinctly. And you can see how it reacts differently on the tea dyed paper. Sorry, coffee dyed paper.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the difference between that and that. That is more subtle and has greater variation than that does. But then all I did there was spray the spray on. I didn't take any of it up.
Yeah.
I didn't spritz with water or anything like that. You could now spritz that with water like this.
And it'll move again?
And you can leave it to do its own thing. Or you can bring up your paper and mop some up. So you get some up and you leave some down there.
So let's see that close up now that you've put the water on it.
Well, it's still wet at the moment.
Yeah, but I can see.
See how the colour.
Yep. Interesting.
What you want to know is, will that still be there when it's dried? And probably it won't.
So
you need to try some of these experiments on larger pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Just don't forget, look how small they are compared with my hand. They are really small pieces of paper.
So how long can you let the spray stain dry and spritz it with water to reactivate it? What do you think?
Well, I can reactivate it now. Do you want me to reactivate it now? I can put some more on here.
Well, I don't want to ruin your card. I was just wondering for myself.
There you go. Let's put some more on. Let's soak a bit of that one up. Leave it a moment or two to react with the spray.
Okay.
Right? And then mop some up. And you get this
Oh, I see. Okay.
colour behind. Different colour.
All right. The bottom layer, you pulled it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have to play with it. I'm going to have to get my paper out and play with it.
It is a fun thing to be doing. So that's the point of putting water on one area. See what the water does. I could put water on there, but then I've already got water on here. I want to be able to compare without water and with water. You see what I mean?
Yep.
And isn't it funny how some of them have a more interesting effect in the spray stain than you would have expected from seeing what the others have done?
So
interesting.
Does that. So I was asking, how long can you how long can it be dry? And you can put water on it and it'll still activate it. And Uda says forever.
Yeah, unless you seal it. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you put a sealer on it. This is interesting. This is good to know. Because if I chance to go over it with watercolor or something like that, I'm going to move it. I'm going to alter it.
It will move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you put distress mica glaze over it, then it will seal it, but you won't be able to put watercolor over it because it's a waxy glaze.
Yeah.
And watercolor will just pool on the waxiness.
Yeah.
But you could go over it with acrylic, I think. It might peel off.
But if you went over it with an acrylic.
That's why.
For the most.
Yeah, the acrylic will still form an acrylic skin, but it might peel off the top of the mica glaze. That's why I say when you're putting mica glaze on, it's the last thing you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
And if you
but you could try matte.
If
you could try something like that.
Right. You can basically bury whatever's underneath it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you put something like a matte spray over it, you may be able to do something on top. It's a water-based formula, so it should move it anyway. So that's, you've got to be careful. Something like the bow fix might be better.
Oh my gosh. Here's what I saw. A couple streamers, and I don't know, can't name them right now, but a couple streamers I've seen actually use hairspray as a sealer.
Yeah, I have heard of that. Yes, I don't know how
Be
archival that might be.
Now what do you got?
Well, I happen to have rusty hinge in oxide pad and distress ink pad, and ditto in the sprays.
Oh,
So let's do the sprays first.
all right. Rusty hinge. Rusty hinge.
Rusty hinge.
For me, I put that down. Oh yeah, Julie. When Julie was here the other day, Friday, she said rusty hinge and twisted citron.
Yep, I've got those.
Well, as far as mixing colors. So I wrote it down. Because that sounded good. Oh,
Rusty hinge.
oh, that's so close to that seedless.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, much more orange than that. Now, where's my seedless preserves
I
gone?
apologize if you can hear Russ. He's still, even though he's fully retired, he still helps the guys, his network of guys out. He's on the phone right now. Oh, okay. All right. Less purple.
I would say it's similar in richness of color, but it's not the same shade at all. It's definitely already
You're right. You're right.
rusty orange, and that's a mauve, I would say.
If anything, that's closer to the tea dye than anything.
Yes, but it's a much stronger, more intense color.
Absolutely.
Right, let's give that a bit of a heaty weety.
It is, isn't it, Paula? Rusty hinge is gorgeous, she says. Yeah, that's very wise.
You've got to remember, it's quite intense though. So if you want to create rust, it isn't all that color. You get a little bit of that color, but mostly it's paler colors, yellows, and occasionally, very occasionally, a little bit of lilac and a little bit of blue, perhaps.
I want to get it along with the twisted citron and see what Julie saw when she put them together. Is he shouting? He's actually not shouting. He's actually well, he is probably, but he's downstairs and across the other side of the house, and I can still hear him. But that's okay. He's helping a guy on a project, so he's got to do that. It's okay. You guys ignore everything he's saying.
Well, it's all right. We can't hear. We can only hear the noise. We can't hear what he's saying. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like
the
that.
acoustics down there,
Right.
echo up here. All right.
Distress. Here we go with the distress. And I will do twisted citron.
Oh, you do have it? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I love twisted citron. In fact, I've got 2 of the distress spray stains because one of them was getting so low. I was using so much.
Mention that, yeah.
Remember on my blues and greens junk journal, I was using so much of it on that it was running really low.
And okay, and this is what I was looking at when I was getting my wish list together. I was looking at re-inkers.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if I should get those instead of the stamp pads, because I don't always remember to pull out my stamp pads. I have a few mini Distress Oxide stamp pads.
You've got a little gel plate, haven't you?
I don't, but what I figured out was that when I cut my large plate down,
yeah,
I could take the cut off from that and turn it into a little plate. Ooh, I like that. Ooh.
Lovely, lovely. Now, what did I do with my gel plate?
Right, Anne?
Got a big one there, but I don't want to use the big one. I want to use the smaller one. should be here.
Yeah, I'm not selling anything, so long-term savory of these things is not a goal.
There it is.
I'm not concerned. Hi,
Oh,
Julie.
no, it isn't. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Where have you gone? I was using it just as before the stream started. Where do you notice where I put it?
You know, you cleared a few things off, so look over there where you have to step aside.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yes, I turned to the side and there it was.
All right.
Okay, rusty hinge. Still on rusty hinge. And we're going to do...
Which one is which? Okay,
That's the oxide.
side. Yep.
Yeah.
The
So we do
tab
the oxide.
the ink side. Okay. Did you? Well, and I have it. You spritzed with water, or you didn't? Where's it at?
Did.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah,
with
I did. Like this.
that special Essex water.
Oh, yes, definitely. See, I can check what I did because I wrote it on one of the folders.
Archival. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Apple.
See, I wrote it on one of the folders.
Mm-hmm.
Distress oxide pad. Distress oxide pad.
Yep.
Yep. So it's that one.
That one. And Udo says that Tim Holtz mentioned once that the colors are lighter if they're dried with a heat tool. And have you found this too?
I haven't noticed it. If you don't use a heat tool, then you might get more variation because you're allowing it to dry at a slower rate. So it's got time to soak into the paper and spread out a bit before it dries. I'm doing this with the heat gun because we're live and I don't want to drag this out.
Yeah, and Mariah says she thinks it's true that it would that if you use the heat tool it would be lighter. So, but
that's pretty intense as it is,
yeah,
isn't it? So
and
you do it more than once anyway.
So
like that. So you do it more than once. In fact, you can do it up to 5 or 6 times. By then, you're starting to get the cards somewhat intensely covered. But you can keep going. And if you think your pad is getting a bit, your ink gel plate is getting a bit dry, just respritz it. Pick up a bit more.
Yeah, I like that rusty hinge. That's nice.
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
So that's distressed oxide rusty hinge. We will put that over there. So it's no longer available. And we'll stamp this side down on here.
Okay, Mariah. Mariah's got to go.
You go, Mariah. I will look at your magnets thing because I do love information about magnets. I just didn't have time. Bye-bye. Thanks for dropping by.
Time to go get the child.
Yep. I think I might do the spicy marmalade afterwards because that is quite a close color.
Yeah, spiced marmalade. Yes, that's on my list.
That's the one.
With the
blibble. I haven't heard of blibble before. That's a new one on me.
Your words are hard. I was thinking of a combo, doing a combo card with spiced marmalade and peacock feathers.
Yes.
Those two colors.
Yes, you did mention.
Which
Yes.
actually put me in mind of using what Julie said was Rusty Hinge and Twisted Citron together, putting them together. So,
yeah, and I'm dying to find out how this compares. This is a great way just of comparing your oxide and ink pads of your different distress colours.
yeah.
Never mind seeing what they do in different papers, but just seeing it all together against each other, like Dusty Concord and Seaver's Preserves and Wilted Violet and Villainous Potion and Rusty Hinge and something like Spice Marmalade and Wild Honey. Because they are quite close in hue, in base colour.
So Lara asks, the one thing I have great difficulty is anti-crackle effect. What do you do for that, Fran?
Oh, well, I use Chroma Crackle. I use glue and white paint. I use Prima Marketing's one. They've got a very nice one. Golden are some lovely coloured ones. In fact, I've used I think it's either the Golden or the Prima one I've used, the clear one. And I've added black paint to it. A little bit of black paint, doesn't take much. I've got a gorgeous black crackle that way. Oh, I love crackle. I did a test. There's a one in my way back a few years ago in my channel about using different things to do crackle to see what happened, what did and what didn't work. That was quite a lot of fun, that was.
Salvage Patina, that's on my list, Diane. I already have it on my list.
Oh, this is lovely. I'm so glad I decided to go with Lisa Heinzel's way of doing this and not mine, because mine was quite drab in comparison to this. This is so much more fun.
Mermaid is Mermaid Lagoon, I think, has more blue than turquoise, I think.
Yes, it does seem to be a bit more blue, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the oxide, though, and that's the spray stain. So it's quite blue.
Yeah, there's more blue than turquoise.
Yeah, quite a bit more blue.
I'm looking at. I wrote it down. I'll tell you what, I've spent days looking at these 44 colors that they've got.
44
in the stain.
I don't have them all. I definitely don't. I couldn't afford it all.
Right.
Would have liked to, but
just in the spray stain, 44 colors. I found a color and it said, well, there are 43 more colors to choose from. I'm like, you rotten rat.
Yes.
Of course. Let's see. Water-based distressed ink. All right.
Rusty Hinge. Tea dye. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting very coffee.
Yeah.
And that's my fan you're hearing.
Sorry. Abundant Sage is a good peacock feathers. That's what I saw on some video that I watched. She used the spice with the peacock feathers. And it just seemed like the peacock feathers had a tinge of the teal or the green in there. She hasn't printed them out yet, Paula. She's got them, but she hasn't printed out the labels yet.
I've been too busy cutting bits of card and sticking bits of stuff to bits of other stuff. And
yep.
What was it you were saying? Peacock feathers.
Yeah. With the spice marmalade. I want to see those two together. Laura asked, was it the Prima you said about the crackle? Prima? Yeah.
That's the Prima Marketing. Finnabear.
Ah.
Peacock feathers. There we are. Let's do peacock feathers.
Yeah, she needs a drink. She definitely needs to take a sip and clear her throat. Definitely. Rinse your throat out.
It's all right. I got a drop of tea here. It's almost iced tea now. It's been just behind the fan.
Okay, Evie.
Oh, Evie, I wondered if you were here. Are you off, are you, Evie?
Yeah, her iPad is out of juice. She'll be right back.
Okay. Bye-bye. Hope you do.
Is I went to I think it was scrapbooking.com or whatever, and they have a number of the Ranger inks, the Ranger sprays on sale. Quite a nice price compared to what I'm finding on Amazon, but
yes,
I have a gift card. He purchased a security camera for the backyard, and they gave us a $40 gift card. So I don't have a gift card for scrapbooking.com.
yeah, there is only that problem.
So I'm kind of
stuck. So I'm going to put this one here. Let's do these two first. Peacock feathers, right? So we'll do the ink first on this side. Oh, no, you don't.
The delivery for scrapbooking.com wasn't, I didn't think it was too bad in comparison. But again, like I said, I don't have a gift card for theirs. So I'm sticking with the other place. He bought the camera. He should get the gift card. But when they said they were going to send us a gift card, I said, it's mine.
Of course.
And of course, I've already gone over it with my wish list. So
not hard to do.
Yeah.
Right. This is peacock feathers.
And I like that. That's a really pretty. See, doesn't it have a bit of a teal or turquoise?
It does a bit, yes. More so than the Mermaid Lagoon.
Exactly. Oh, thanks, Uda. I'll check, Simon says. But again,
in fact,
the gift card I have is where it is. What are you going to do? What are you doing? Oh, you're going to put them side by side? Oh, watch for overspray.
Mermaid Lagoon.
Oh, absolutely. Do you see that? Who mentioned that? Julie, was it you that mentioned Mermaid Lagoon up against Peacock Feathers? See the difference? The Lagoon definitely has more blue pigment.
A lot more blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I like that peacock. I like them both, but for what I've got in mind, I like the peacock feathers.
Well, when I was doing the cover for the Greens and Blues journal, I did use both, but I used mostly peacock feathers, which is why I had to buy another bottle.
Yeah, Diane says it. It's a definite must for grungy effects. The peacock feathers. I agree.
Yeah.
I get a package delivery. Hold the phone.
So now you can see it against the rusty hinge.
Thank you. Not for me. Russ ordered something else. I wonder if there's a gift card with that. Well, and he didn't even know. I happened to grab the little booklet that comes with the camera of how to set it up. And there was a little business card in there and said, if you scan this code thingy, we'll give you the gift card. And I'm like, he wouldn't even have known. How many more of those does he not pay attention to?
So this is Mermaid Lagoon, and that's peacock feathers. Okay, peacock feathers it is.
And up above is the what again? What is that?
That's rusty hinge.
Rusty hinge. Okay. Okay, I like that.
Just so I don't get spray on it when I do this. Oh, I haven't shook that enough.
Oh, I was looking at the weathered wood, Uda. I wasn't quite attracted to it. Now I'll take a second look at it. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. Look at it bloom. Look at that just go and bloom. Oh, wow.
See, that one, the spray is not so great because I only got some in the center because I was close enough. When I moved further away, I got hardly anything in the center.
Yeah.
That's something to watch out with these sprays. And if I would recommend having some replacement spray tops.
Yep.
Ready.
Nose.
Replace it. Yeah, that's what I just did. Didn't do that one. Got to do that one as well. There we go. Put those two down and out of the way. And let's dry these.
Well, we're almost 2 hours in.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yep. So.
But I do want a couple more, so yeah, shush.
Okay.
And it's the 18th. We're near the 23rd. We've got plenty of time.
That's all right. We've always got me as a backup. Did you hear she just shushed me? Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Stop it. Now let's look at those dried against rusty. There we go.
Okay.
You see those?
Push them up further because I can't see the blue too well. All right. I'm definitely looking at the.
Isn't that marvelous? Lovely.
Yeah. Definitely loving the peacock feathers for the way I want to go. I can see that looking grungy. The peacock feathers, the rusty hinge, and the spiced marmalade. Mm-hmm.
So I've only got Mermaid Lagoon in the ink.
Twisted Citron was the other one to go with the.
Yeah, and I've only got a Distress ink in the peacock feathers. So we'll do those while we're here, and then I'll know which ones I haven't got, which is one of the points of these. So we'll do the Mermaid Lagoon. So it's that bit for Mermaid Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
And the same for peacock feathers.
Yep.
So we'll put the peacock feathers aside for the moment, and we'll get back that pad. I will do Mermaid Lagoon. Just check again. Mermaid Lagoon. Yes. Butter.
Yep, I wrote
Spare
it.
bit of butter.
Of course, I don't have Essex water.
No, that's true. You really need some Essex water. You'll have to come here. You have to come and get some. That's rather nice. I do like that. I mean, just as an artistic idea, it's nice, isn't it? All these little speckles. I do like
over a little bit because Fran wants to do a few more. So we're going to run over our usual 2 hours, just a tad bit.
Just to get some of these other colours to compare things with.
Yeah,
because we've done hinge, but we haven't done marmalade, spice marmalade, or wild honey, and I've got to do twisted citron. So we'll try and speed this up a bit by doing things together.
Okay.
So there's that one.
Bye, Colleen.
That's lovely. haven't got much else for that one. That was mermaid. Put mermaid down there as done. Peacock feathers. First, we've got to get rid of this colour. And the best way to do that is to spray it with water and then stamp it on the bit of paper. And that way, we're getting more and more of a nice background. And then spray it again, and this time wipe it. Peacock feathers. And that one. Peacock feathers, good. So it's that one.
I've come close to doing that. Okay, were these the good ones or the bad ones? You guys done? Oh, sorry. I thought I heard you say-
We're close, not quite.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to run out to the freezer and take some meat out of the freezer for his dinner. All right, what do you got there? I missed. Twisted.
Well, I got rather a big. This is peacock feathers.
Oh, okay. You're doing okay. Never mind. You're doing the gel plate. Okay. And you
We've
did
done
that.
the inside.
Yes. So that was the stain, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
that was the ink pad.
yeah.
The ink pad. And I don't have the oxide, so I can't do that on that one. So that's a bit of information for me. You don't have the oxide.
Ooh, okay.
But as I say, I've ordered a few pads, so I can't remember whether that was one I could get hold of or not. It's not so much a question of which ones you haven't got. It's also a question of which ones you can get hold of. So let's do twisted citron, because you wanted that. Twisted citron. And I can always do the outside, the inside at another time. I'd add more stuff to it. So let's do the oxide first. Get that out of the way. Oh, now everything's falling over. I knew that was going to happen. It's starting to get in a hurry, you know.
If anybody has to leave, they can come back and watch the ending later. No reason for you to rush. And
Yep, you don't have to hang about while I'm piddling about and being silly.
You just don't get all rushy. I'm here. So what color are we working on?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I've suddenly lost track of which one goes where.
Okay.
Sidus Preserves will tell me. Yes, it's oxide that side. So that's the oxide. Okay, we're doing that one.
The tab side is the ink side. The other side
Tab
is
is
the
ink.
side.
Correct. Where we go. Twisted citron.
Diane says there's no need for you to hurry for her. She can cut the dog nails anytime. There you go.
Oh, I just bought a new German-made nail clipper, and Ian went away, and I gave him it to have a play with because it had arrived this morning, and he went away with it, and he came back about half an hour later saying, "That's amazing, that." I think he liked it because he said it's so sharp. German made. tempered steel or whatever.
Ooh, nice. So that's
Is
Twisted
that it?
Citron. That's the first I've seen of
That's
that.
the oxide. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that color. I can see that with the rusty hinge.
Uh-huh.
And Apple says she's just made a fresh mug of tea. She's hanging out for some more.
Well, good day. I can drink a bit more of my tea now.
You think I should record daily affirmations in my calm
In
Illinois?
your comb?
Okay.
Huh?
Well,
On your calm voice. Oh, right.
right. Well, for today, the daily affirmation is don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff.
I like it.
I had a supervisor. I had a supervisor many, many years ago when I
You've got to write that one down for me. I've got to tell Ian that one. I'll never remember it.
and it's like, okay, I have not forgotten it. It's been 15 or it's been closer to 20 years since I've seen him and he said that, and it's like that's it exactly. Do not sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Very good. I like it.
Thank you, everyone. You can write it down. It's not my quote. I heard it from him, and I don't know where. I wouldn't be surprised if he made it up. He was a. That's it exactly, Apple. That's it exactly. He may have made it up. He was a character. He was someone he used to yell. We worked in a big metal warehouse type building, and we made transformers was one of the things, and I worked on the little ones, wire wrapped around transformers. But anyway, he was the engineer, and that's beautiful. And he could yell. And I remember, this is something I've learned. I remember I would go, if he were yelling at me, which he wasn't yelling at me, but he was yelling while he was talking to me or someone, I would like think, I'm going to go to the other end of the factory so I can hear you better. That was me being a wise guy. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Apple. The quote is attributed to George Carlin. Yeah, it's like when Russ gets loud, and he can be loud. I don't know if he realizes that, but he can be loud, and so can I. But I'm like, okay, let me go upstairs to the other room and close the door so I can hear you better. That's beautiful. I'm just not crazy about the way the oxide hit the black paper.
Oh, I do. I love the way, look at the contrast between this and this. Ooh.
Bring it closer.
It's like this is a completely different color to that.
Well, it looks
Isn't
like
that great.
It looks like it just bleached out the black paper. I see.
Yeah, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it's lovely. I think that's wonderful. And look at that. You know, I was talking about using torn edged paper.
Yeah.
I've got it on this one here because I ran out of bits of book page and you put two bits together that were torn.
I like that.
That's brilliant. See, it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the ink pad, which goes other one.
Yeah, I do come back. He does come back. I've learned to loosen up and be less intimidated, Laura, as I've gotten older. And I do comebacks with him. Fran overheard us one day as he was going out the door. He was saying something to me, and I said, "You're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what to do. I'm a grown up." And that's just the way we talk to each other. But that's not how I've always been. I'm usually intimidated and I would shrivel up. I'm not afraid of him. But anyway, that's how we are together. And Fran overheard us and thought, well, if the two of
I'll
you
come back when you finish having a quarrel.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
we do not quarrel. It's just me explaining. I'm not arguing. I'm just explaining why I'm right. That's all. That's all.
Now this is the ink pad, okay? Twisted Citron again.
Which I like. Which I like very much.
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. Now I want
One of
to.
my favorite colors.
I want to see it with the oxide.
Well, I've got it in my hand. Hang on.
Yep, I know. I saw that. I really like that. You've knocked the camera a little bit, but that's okay. We're hanging in there. The most important part, the gel plate is showing, so that's all you need to worry about. So you wet it first. Oh, you're going to wipe it off, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I can always do that another time. Oxide. Water. This side.
All right. Then we dry it.
How did I get red on there? Well, I've got some red on there. Oh. I don't know.
Don't know.
Probably off the side or somewhere. No, you don't get a little bit of red in your Twisted Citron.
It was a happy accident.
Well, it was an accident, so I'm not sure whether I'm happy about it or not.
So I can only see half the card, but what I'm seeing so far tells me that the oxide really doesn't change.
I put rather a lot of water in with that.
Okay. Because I like the way it's done.
Smushed.
Okay. If it's sticking, there's probably not much on the plate to pull up.
Yeah, not a lot.
I like that one. That's definitely getting written down. That one gets a star and a heart.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, that one.
Yeah, I'm liking that.
Now, despite the fact that I put too much water on to start with and made it smush, picking up the remnants has shown it up on top of that quite nicely.
You can shush me all you want, but I've got to tell you, it's time to stop because your cough is sounding deeper and worse. So there.
Oh. Well, I'll have to do the marmalade and the wild honey next time then.
Yeah.
I am getting tired, I must admit.
Yeah.
I would love to go on, but yeah, you're right.
But hold that up to the camera before you go.
You wanted to see it against the peacock feathers, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, the rusty hinge actually with that one.
Okay. There's peacock feathers.
You can put as many as you want down because we're going to end the stream.
Just a minute. I've got to find the rusty hinge.
There we go. Peacock feathers. There it is.
That's uncharted map now. There's peacock feathers. There we go.
Nice blending. Very nice.
Now I haven't got the other one, so
Turn the card. Yeah, fix the camera so we can see them. Turn the bottom card the other way at a 90 degrees so we could see more of it. There you go. Yep. See, aren't those nice colors together? I would mix.
Okay.
I would not all three of them together, but
Well, I like those two together,
yeah,
and that goes with the others as well. I mean,
yeah,
even with that, it does, doesn't it?
it does. Yeah, that's the Mariner, right?
No, that's the Mermaid Lagoon.
Mermaid Lagoon. Okay. All right.
That's the Mariner. That's the Uncharted Mariner.
Oh,
See?
oh, I like.
Isn't it nice to be able to compare them like that?
Well, and then
I
pull
really
them out
like
and see what you think looks nice together. If you were doing, oh, I like that.
So just as a comparison between different colours to decide what palette you want to use. It's a brilliant way of doing it.
Okay, one more color I want to ask you to pull out before we go. Aged mahogany.
Okay.
Pull that one out and lay it out there with those. That's totally. Oh wow. Oh, the mahogany and the yeah, exactly. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Nice screenshot too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. There you go.
Today. This has
We're
been
done.
I'm loving these sprays and oxides.
And thanks everybody. Hi Paula. Bye Paula. Thanks everybody for coming.
I'm
sorry I didn't see everybody, but you know, I've been a bit rushy.
It's okay.
Going rush.
Deep breaths. Don't sweat the patty stuff. And don't
pat the sweaty stuff.
Exactly. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up, for hanging in there.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate it.
We'll
and
get
to
on to something
we appreciate you too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.